All right, what we're looking at is going to be through in a pot. This is just a flat bat of clay. The lines are basically for a little bit better suction for the wooden bat. And the wooden bat slaps down, and that way, after you throw something, you don't affect it when you pop it off. Especially right now, I'm going to be throwing a pie plate. Had some requests for pie plates from a couple of individuals. Mostly, interesting enough, they were sons with moms. So I'm thinking they wanted to buy mom a pie plate, hoping for a pie. So first thing, start off, kick in some wedging. This is wheel wedging. It basically smooths out the consistency of the clay, and it also centers, just kind of gets things going because you want everything always, before you start making a pot, absolutely in the center. Any kind of wobble will be accentuated while you're throwing the pot. Next thing, you go down into it, open up the floor. Now here, especially with pipe plates, I want a very exact thickness to my floor. So I use a little needle and check it. After another 1,000 pie plates or so, I'll probably won't need to do that anymore. But I'm still kind of on that scale of checking things out. And then you need to kind of pull it out, widen it out. The floor is very important on a pie plate. You want it nice and flat, so when you scoop in to get the pie, it's all level. You don't get chinks in it. You have better pieces of pie coming out that way. So a lot of the time is really set on getting that floor and the sweep on the edge just right. So you kind of compact it down with the sponge and work it a bit until it is all nice and smooth and just right where you want it. This is a little wooden rib, and it just helps to flatten out the floor. Kind of also at the edge, it's got a round edge to it and a flat edge to it, and you use the flat edge on the flat part, and then the round edge kind of where it sweeps up into the wall. And you want it all nice and flat and a smooth sweeping up. And then you go through and you take out whatever little lines might be left by the rib, and hopefully it's just all pretty and whoosh, smooth. Okay, next part is just bring up the walls. And there's not a whole lot of pulling on the walls. They just kind of, swoop up pretty quickly, pretty easily. And I'm still adjusting to pie plates. Used to throw them quite a bit, but these days, not as much as I used to. So, yeah, here it is, just kind of finishing things out. You want a little bit of a sweep. You don't want it straight down. Again, so the scoop goes in there. It's got a little bit of a sweep to the wall, rounded part, and into the nice flat section of the pie plate. All these parts and pieces you gotta think about. And eventually kind of get to that point of double checking, making sure your sweep is good, making sure your floor is all nice and flat. So that when you bring your sponge out, it's just kind of like whoosh. I always want a little bit of water on it, keep it wet. And then you roll down that edge just a little bit. You don't want it flat. I don't like it flat because, again, it makes it more difficult to get a piece of pie out, but you want a little bit of a rib there. And that last sweep hopefully just goes right up the wall all nice and clean. Swoosh. Yeah, getting there. And then the final part is putting the ribs on, and you just use your fingers and you just start sweeping it all the way around to get that nice traditional wavy pie plate crust on the edges. Round and round it goes. Trying to make even lines. Difficult part is I always try and make it wind up, pretty much, at the same amount of space all the way around. And usually I'm off a little bit at the end, but these people don't really notice too badly and stuff. It looks cool this way because the ribs, they look like they're going one way and the wheel looks like it's going the other way, kind of that wheel effect and stuff. Memorial weekend, I had a great sale. Sold quite a few of the travel mugs. They've been just great little items. Um, it's a mug that it's got a little silicone lid in it, and it's all microwave, dishwasher. Just pops on there, and people have really liked them. Another thing I've got going is some racks that I bought. Big metal racks. I used them at the Memorial Weekend sale. They worked out great. I'm also really hoping to shift them over to the garage section and use them also in my garage pottery sale on Fridays. I'm going to rip out that big bench that you see there, put those metal racks in. Hopefully this will get done sometime soon, maybe even next Friday. I'm really thinking next Friday because it's a project that a couple people have asked about, and it's next.